Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Odiriri. I saw a report um, um, that stated clearly that Lagos State economy is today sized at $259 billion. I think it is what's the name of that website? I saw it. Lagos State economy today valued at $259 billion, and there was fanfare as if they were sharing it with clay. And I said to somebody who was beside me, I said, for the WhatsApp group that I belong to, I posted there, I said, there's nothing to clap, there's nothing to rejoice. Lagos State is a state with a landmass of 3,225,000 square kilometers landmass. Lagos State has massive coastal waters. Lagos State has 3 seaports, and in fact, the 4th one is coming up in Badagry. And Lagos State has massive population of about 28 million, estimated to be about 22 million today. I said, if Lagos State was to live up to its potentials, Lagos State should have a $1 trillion economy. And I gave an example. Singapore with a landmass of 721 square miles is as small as Alimosho local government area in Lagos State. Lagos State has bigger and better coastal waters than Singapore. Lagos State has 18.2 million people living in Lagos State. Singapore has about 5.16 billion people. Singapore, as at last year, their GDP was about $564 billion nominal value, $843 billion BPP. And last year, they exported $514 billion worth of commodities and services and imported $470 billion. They are bigger than Nigeria economy, and Lagos State should actually be bigger than Singaporean economy if we are doing things the way we should do it in Nigeria. And I was shared with that person. I said the blue economy in Singapore earns about 25 to $27 billion annually. Lagos State blue economy can actually earn as much as that and can become a transshipment hub for the rest of Southern Africa. And that takes me back to the southeast where I come from. And I said we need to quit the blame games. We need to quit the recrimination. We need to quit blaming people for our woes. I've heard people lament, oh, Lagos State is developed because they have 3 seaports and they are building the 4th one. There is no seaport in the southeast. And so what? Whose fault? We are playing the wrong politics. We have leaders, political leaders from the southeast who are not altruistic, who are not patriotic, who are not selfless, who are not playing the right political games. The games they are just, as far as they are concerned, it's all about ability to grab power, steal and loot, and nothing more. Akwa Ibom is building Akwa Ibom deep seaport project. Cross River is doing their own. And interestingly, from the Atlantic into the Cross River port, it's almost about 65 kilometers. From the Atlantic to Orashi is about the same length of nautical miles. Now, 2-3 years ago, I was one of those who lamented the dirty politics we play. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma gathered the then Vice President Yemi Osinbajo and the Ohaneze Ndigbo and all the lacrime, the cream de lacrime of who and who that is in Igbo land, to flag off the dredging of the Orashi River and the establishment of a seaport at Uguta. I saw that thing as just made political gimmickry. Political propaganda, lies, and 419 to deceive people to think they are doing something. Because I wrote an article then and opened and I said these things are just political gimmickry because there was no substantial plan, there was no design, there was no deep thoughts into what they were doing. Because I have been involved as executive secretary of depot owners, private depot owners in Nigeria, and I deeply involved when we wanted to do a PPP of dredging from escargots through the shallow waters into One, Warri, and the Cocoa area. And I knew how much that was estimated for that job to be done. And of course, interestingly, the biggest dredgers in the whole of Nigeria is owned by an Igbo man. Former Julius Berger Dredgers is now owned by Next Oil, Nemeka Obiejesi. He's an Igbo man. He owns the biggest dredger in the whole of Nigeria and West Africa. So we knew then that how much it will cost to dredge just about 28 kilometers. Talk less of dredging from the Atlantic to Orashi. That will require not only dredging, shoreline embankment and protection. So that because that place, most of the city, the communities within that channel are below sea level. So you need to do shoreline embankment and protection so that they are not carried by flood. You know, and I knew clearly that for that project to be executed, it will require about $150 million. And there was nowhere in the federal government budget or state government budget where the dredging of that river channel and establishment of a port was provided in the budget. Not either as a wholly public sector funded project or a PPP. I cried foul. People thought, oh, because I didn't like the APC government. Till today, nothing had been done on that project. Very beautiful project, but it was dies in propaganda. There was no real intention to do it. Now, the question is, 60% of the containers that come through Lagos actually originate from those who live in the southeast. People from the southeast. They are the biggest importers in Nigeria. Most of the containers that come in originate from those areas. Now, can we dredge from the Atlantic to Azumini Blue River in Abia State to Orashi in Imo State? We can. Can we create river ports, not seaport? Because there are different between river port and seaport. In fact, even their papa port that we're talking about is a river port, not even a seaport. So, if our papa is a seaport is working, and we know how much they spend every day dredging it, we can create a seaport at Orashi. But it will involve the 5 governors of the Southeast coming together to play the right politics, to play alternative politics, to put together a design, build, operate, and transfer PPP framework to execute this project. $150 to $200 million will do this job under the Southeast Development Corporation, an entity that they can establish. Fund it. Let me tell you, we can easily raise $500 to $1 billion to do this project in the Southeast under a missions, community, diaspora, private, public partnership framework. You know, we blame Lagos State. We blame everybody. See, did Lagos State tie our hand from doing our own? If our governors are sincere, if our governors are altruistic, if our governors are patriotic, if our governors are selfless like Desmond Mbakwe and Michael Obara, they can easily persuade Bola Tinubu in Abuja and the other people to allow us to do this. What stops us? The most lucrative rail route in Nigeria is the Lagos Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, Ore, Asaba, Onitsha, Owerri, Port Harcourt, Sekubakaba, Umuahia, Okigwe, all the way to Enugu, to Afikpo, to Abakaleke, back to Oka, to Onitsha. It's an 817-kilometer rail line that will require about $5.2 billion to do. $1.2 billion equity contribution, $4 billion debt funding, 25-year funding that we can easily raise. That line involves about 8 to 11 states. If the Southeast governors are altruistic and they are sincere, they can. We've actually set up an SPV, Rail Track LLC, in the UK and Rail Track Limited in Nigeria as a PPP. We've been in discussion. We've done a lot of research work on this. We've been in discussion with some of the biggest private sector rail operators in the world. The Deutsche Bank Group in Germany is the biggest private sector rail operator. They have over 304,000 people under their employment. We have the Turkish guys. It's a no-brainer. If we have serious governors in the Southeast, we don't. All we need to do is to play the right politics. Meet the federal government of Nigeria. And interestingly, the rail infrastructure program and whatever have been put in the concurrent list. It's no longer in the exclusive list. All we need to do is to talk with the governors of Lagos State, governors of Ondo, governors of Ogun, governors of Edo, governors of Delta State, the governor of Anambra, Enugu, Imo, Abia, Ebonyi, and Rivers State. We will link Lagos to Orashi. We've done the numbers. We get one of the world best in class private sector operator to take 20%. All the state governments within this corridor will just take 0.5% and we'll put the remaining in a bucket and we'll sell it. See, we can easily sell it to diasporas and Nigerians who will subscribe to it and we'll raise that funding. Let me tell you, it's one of the most lucrative railroads. It has 200 million tons of cargo traffic every year. It has 300 to 500 million passenger traffic every year. It's a rail net route that can give us between 1.3 to 2.3 billion revenue annually. It can repay itself in 7 years. under a 45-year DBOT. What is the big deal? But the problem, we don't have governors in the Southeast who are thinking. We have the Southeast Governors Forum. So what do they do when they meet? We have the Southeast governor that even have a secretariat that is manned by a DG. What do they discuss and what do they do? Yes, Lagos have 3 seaports. And so what? Did they tie our hands from doing our own? Do they tie? And our people like to recriminate. Oh, the Fulani Hausa, they are holding us down. The Lagos Southwest, they are holding us down. The Britishers are holding us down. We are the wisest people from the Southeast. Let us quit this badadash. Let us stop this stupid recrimination. The man who stays down and is down is the man that chose to be down. We've done the numbers. Over 45% of diasporans are from Alibo. If today we want to raise $20 billion to do massive projects in the Southeast, we can easily raise it from our diasporas. But the problem is our diasporas do not trust the political class. Our diasporans do not have confidence in the political class. And that is the truth. We have bunch of, I'm sorry to use the word, and it is the truth, mostly incompetent people. You know, we blame the 1999 Constitution. Let me tell you, the 1999 Constitution is not much different from 1979. Yet, Desa Mbakwe in 4 years, 1979 to 1983, under the same yoked Constitution, did massive projects in the old East, in the old Imo and Abia. What Desa Mbakwe did in 4 years have not been masked by the 5 governors that have governed the Southeast from 1999 till today, all combined. Go and look at what Michael Okpara did between 1959 to 1966 in the old Eastern Nigeria. All it requires is the right will, the right political will. So, I am saying this with every sense of responsibility. It's not enough to say we are building Dubai, Taiwan. We can actually create something bigger than Dubai, Taiwan. The economy of the whole of the Southeast is about $60 billion. We can build a $500 billion economy in the Southeast within the next 10 years. If we have the political people who are willing to bend down and work, and we are willing to help them. I work with a team of technocrats and smartest of minded people that can help them put in place the templates that will help us develop the Southeast, harness the 40% of the gas reserve of Nigeria that is within the Southeast and every other thing. Let me tell you something we don't understand. See, there are 3 critical sectors in any economy. 2 critical sectors: mining and agriculture. There is no industrial complex that is outside, that is not founded, that does not have its foundation within those 2 sectors. Agric is on the surface of the earth. Mining is below the surface of the earth. We have over $322 billion worth of coal reserve in Nigeria, and most of them are in the Southeast. We have over 206 trillion standard cubic feet of gas in Nigeria, worth over $1.4 trillion. Most of them are in the Southeast. We have 2.8 million hectares of arable landmass that can give us $200 billion annually. There is no industrial complex that is not built on things that are mined from it. God is such a very unique creator. So why are we not harnessing these natural and latent potentials that we have? Looking at using the great human capital that we have to build an economy of the Southeast that is like the Catalonia or Bavaria in Germany. And we allow people to brainwash us. They tell us, oh, I ask anybody who can listen. The other time they were telling us insecurity in the Southeast because it's externally induced. Oh, people cannot farm because of the terrorist herdsmen. And I asked this question. We have 95 local government areas. We have 1,240 electoral wards in the Southeast. If the governors in the Southeast decide today to create 200 to 500 hectares of agro parks in every electoral ward, and they raise 50 agro rangers in each of these wards, armed and trained and equipped to protect each of these clusters, multiply 50 by 1246. And in every local government area, you put 2 armored personnel carrier. Please tell me where the terrorist herdsmen will come in to distort the insecurity, the security situation inside it. Tell me where the bandits and the unknown government will emanate from to come and do sit at home on Monday. We are not intentional. We are not sincere. There's nothing like unknown government. You guys know the people who are disturbing our league. We know them. And if we are sincere and honest to ourselves, we can build an economy that will liberate the rest of Africa. I hate recrimination. I hate blame. Let me tell you, the only two persons that can determine my life, my future, my destiny, myself, and my God. There's no external person that can influence it. I choose to be down if I want to be down. If I say I won't be down, they've not born the mortar that can keep me down when my God have said no. And that is the truth, and it's applicable to everybody. May God have mercy on us.